So that's what it feels like when you're in the homeland of New Democrats. That's awesome. Woo! In the heartland. Thank you very much, Sherry, for the introduction. Thank you for that warm welcome, everybody. Hello, Saskatchewan New Democrats. How you feeling? Bonjour, chers amis. I would like to begin by acknowledging that we are gathered today on land, the Treaty 4 territory, the traditional territories of First Nations and Métis peoples. It's an incredible honor and pleasure to be here with you today. C'est vraiment un plaisir et un honneur pour moi d'être parmi vous aujourd'hui. Thank you again for allowing me to be here to share some of my thoughts. And I just can't get over how awesome it is to be in the birthplace of our party. It's awesome. It's so cool. Thank you. This is where it all began. This is ground zero. This is where our vision of building a brighter future for Canada, a Canada where we lift each other up together, this is where it began. And I think it's really important for me to begin with some thank yous. I want to thank our incredible MLAs here in Saskatchewan. Thank you. Let's give them a round of applause. All of our incredibly passionate, hardworking MLAs in the Saskatchewan NDP. I want to thank our incredible team of MPs here in Saskatchewan that represent us at the federal level. Let's give them a round of applause. They're phenomenal. I want to thank all of the organizers, all the volunteers, everyone who made this convention possible. Let's give them a round of applause. They're all phenomenal. And most importantly, I want to thank all of the members. You are the backbone of our movement. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, thank you. Let's give all the members, give yourselves a round of applause. So this is week 4 of being the leader of the federal party. And sometimes I feel like it's been 4 years. Sometimes it feels like it's been 4 minutes. But I'm sure I've checked the calendar. It's been 4 weeks. And it's been an incredibly humbling experience. I'm incredibly honored to have this position. And I want to thank everybody for this incredible honor. I also want to tell you it's been particularly incredible because I get to join 44 incredible MPs that are fighting hard for us to build a better Canada. So let's acknowledge all of their hard work, all their passion, all of what they bring to the table. And I'm not supposed to single out people, but I'm in Saskatchewan, so I feel I can single out a couple of those incredible members. And I just want to name by name the incredible team. You've obviously heard from Sherry Benson, but I want to shout out Georgina Jolibois, Aaron Weir, and Sherry Benson, our incredible Saskatchewan team. Let's give them some love. Heading into the last election, it was pretty incredible, pretty tough to imagine that it's been 15 years since we had a single New Democrat at the federal level in Saskatchewan. 15 years. And it shows an incredible resilience. It takes a certain special something to be a New Democrat, doesn't it? Some people would call it something else, but we call it a special resilience. No, it's an incredible thing. And the fact that we didn't give up, Saskatchewan didn't give up. 15 years of a drought and we didn't give up. We knew what was possible for our country and we were not going to settle for less. And so thank you to all of you. We had an incredible breakthrough for our party in 2015. And we had a massive breakthrough with our 3 incredible champions. Every day in the House, and I've got to witness this personally now, every day in the House, I want you to know and be reassured that Georgina, Aaron, and Sherry are champions for the important issues that face the people of this province. For example, and this is a horrible example of the very vicious and devastating cuts brought in by the Saskatchewan Party. Insert boo here. Lots of booing. Or shame. Shame, that's a very NDP shame right there. We got to do that every now and then. But seriously, though, it's just devastating, the cuts. The cuts to public services, to libraries. I mean, there's nothing that this government wasn't willing to cut. But when the funding was cut to Saskatchewan Transit Company earlier this year, your Saskatchewan team, our Saskatchewan team, stood in the House of Commons and demanded that the federal government intervene to ensure that those services were not cut, that they would continue. So I want to shout out that incredible leadership of our Saskatchewan team. And it's also important to note that the closure of STC is going to impact disproportionately communities that are already marginalized. And we have examples. We can actually point to history. We know about British Columbia's Highway of Tears. And it serves as an incredibly important reminder that we can't let history repeat itself. We know that there's a certain lens when we need to look at the cuts and how they hurt people. They're going to disproportionately hurt people that are already marginalized. And the Highway of Tears showed the impact on women specifically. And it's so important for us to acknowledge that when cuts happen, they're going to hurt people in different ways, and we need to stand up for people that need our support. And when we have a government that talks about being a feminist government, that talks about championing issues that are important to women, it's so important for us to hold that government to account and say, listen, if there's a service that's going to be cut that's going to disproportionately impact women, then we need to have a federal government that plays a partnership role and supports this in service and steps in when we have a provincial government like the Saskatchewan Party that's so vicious and heartless. And that's why that's the type of leadership you have with your incredible Saskatchewan team. They're delivering in Ottawa a strong and loud voice for the people of this province, and I can't compliment them enough. For sure. And speaking about strong representation, we have strong representation in Ottawa. It seems like every time I turn around, there's another new Democrat that's getting elected in Saskatchewan, in the legislature here. That's awesome. That's amazing. I'd like to thank all the members, the volunteers, the organizers of Saskatoon and Meewasin and Saskatoon Fairview for their inspiring victories and for delivering the amazing Ryan Mealy and Vicky Mowat. Thank you for that. That was incredible. I think I was supposed to say Ryan Miley. I said Mealy. My apologies. Their victories are not just a testament to the hard work of our party and the organizers and the incredible work that's being done across the province. I believe it's a strong reaction to the case that we've made to the people of Saskatchewan to expect more from government. That we don't have to accept cuts and sell-offs, scandals and mismanagement. We can inspire people with a government that wants to build a fair and more just province where we all rise together. And that's why people are turning to Saskatchewan NDP. They're turning to this hopeful inspiration. Absolutely. I mean, there's no doubt about the momentum you've built here. I mean, you basically chased out Brad Wall. You got him on the run. Sure. It's true. You called him out, held him to account on the scandals, on the mismanagement, on that horrible budget. You know, when we look at how the Saskatchewan Party is letting down the people of Saskatchewan, our federal government is disappointing Canadians in a very similar way. They both share this strange obsession with privatization and selling off whatever they can get their hands on. Totally shameful. Earlier this year, the Trudeau government announced and introduced the privatization bank, which is basically just a fancy way of saying we're going to privatize everything in this country in a fast way. It wasn't just enough to say we're going to support privatization and sell-offs. They actually wanted to implement a bank to make it happen faster, to make it happen across the boards. They want to ensure that any new infrastructure build, whether it's bridges, roads, anything in our country that's built, they want to see it built in a way that's owned by private companies. They even want to privatize our airports. Totally shameful. P3s, sell-offs, privatization banks, it's all a part of the same scam. The scam where wealthy investors make huge profits, and while hardworking people get stuck with higher costs and poorer services. The solution is simple. We should own our public services. We should own them. No question. We need to make accessibility and quality the priority and not profits. We want to make sure we own our public services. They're for us. We need to defend them. We need to fight for them. We need to make sure that we all have access to them. It's not about profits, it's about people. Absolutely. Thank you for that. I got a little excited myself there. I really believe it. It's so important. We really have to. I mean, we need public ownership of our public services. That's it. Sadly, siding with wealthy insiders in large corporations has become the common theme for not only the provincial government here in Saskatchewan, but the federal government. Just days ago, Canada's finance minister issued an economic update and confirmed that the government is abandoning the idea of tax fairness for working people. Again, they've showed their priorities. They're saying that they're not going to take any steps to ensure that large corporations and the wealthiest among us pay their fair share. They've given up on that principle. We've not given up on that. You know that you can count on us to make sure that we build a taxation system that's fair and progressive. It's a pretty simple concept when you break it down. Working people pay their taxes, so powerful CEOs should too. Pretty basic. After backtracking on their botched tax change proposals for small businesses, this government is refusing to close major loopholes in our tax system, and really serious loopholes like the CEO stock option loophole and the use of tax havens. These are things that we can address. The federal government can tackle if the government had the right priorities, which they clearly don't. Because of their inaction, that means that hardworking Canadians are going to lose up to $8 billion a year in services they need, while wealthy liberal insiders continue to get tax breaks. This just shows how out of touch this government is and how wrong their priorities are. This money, if you have to think about it, these are investments we can make in closing the gap for education, in improving health transfers to the provinces, and support for our seniors, and a way to grow our economy in a sustainable way. They just don't get it.